Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Surprisingly, I was able to upload yesterday and I'm doing it again today. Let's see how long I can actually keep going for. I'm excited to see it for myself, but let's just get right into the video. Of course, make sure that if you do like the video, if you're learning something, subscribe, like, and comment any questions, and I'll be here to answer them. And of course, I'll be here for another video, hopefully tomorrow. For starters, she is coming back after 4 weeks, and this was for a fill. What I did at first is just go ahead and just file down whatever I had on the nails, and it wasn't hard to file down just because it's not that I'm used to it, but I had strategies. Basically create strategies that work for you so that long term you're practicing them and they become easier. She doesn't have a lot of cuticles, so I don't need to go really underneath or lift up any cuticles, so I tend to just use a straight it's not even a cuticle, it pushes back the cuticle and like clears out the dead skin underneath those cuticles. And then after that, I went in with a sanding band, and I also want you guys to notice that sanding bands are not only for the actual nail itself, but you could also use it on the parts that are lifting for a refill. To make sure that I remove all the dust from the nails, I like to use a brush and basically the young nails method, just to remove everything out of the corners so that there's no dust, and of course I can dehydrate and prime the nails better. I went in with the cuticle nipper just to remove what I can see as the dead skin. You want to be aware that you're not cutting any living skin. After that, I usually go right in with my primer. You can dehydrate again, but I choose not to. After that, I went in with the white from Young Nails. I don't know if it has a name, but I just think it's white. And then I go ahead and start my application. Again, I prefer to use a wetter bead so that I have more control. And you'll see me a lot of the times, like I'll do a whole thing and then I'll bring the the acrylic back into the cuticle so that I can go ahead and shape the nail like I want it, making it that I'm working smarter and not harder. And my filing process is no more than 10 minutes for both drill and filing. And sometimes I'll actually take longer on the drill so that I don't have to file as much with my hand file. Make sure to also be moving the nail around so you can look at it from anything else but a flat surface. So turn it over, look at the apex. It doesn't have to be a lot, guys, just because a lot of people are different with their nails. Of course, this client is really good with it. She keeps her long nails, she doesn't hurt herself, she comes back for her fills in time, and she's a mom, which I give her all the credit. She's an amazing mom, and her nails always come back perfectly fine. It's really easy to do everything on her. She makes my job 10 times easier every single time. So you'll see that her nails are pretty much not like as people make it seem, like your apex has to be so the width of it has to be, I don't know, the height of it actually has to be very long. And then you'll also see that my brush is kind of its own thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I do use my brush a lot for shaping. Again, I try my best to work with the acrylic that I have so that I don't have to do so much filing. Also make sure that, say if you have a lot of product at the cuticle, that it also balances with the tip of the nail. You don't want the tip to be thin just because you have a lot of product at the cuticle. Also, something that I can point out is that I will say I was going to go do the middle finger, but the bead that I picked up was only going to be enough for the pointer finger. So instead, I will switch it. I'll just do another finger. Like, don't overthink the process of doing nails. It's very simple and common sense. It's actually supposed to be very satisfying. So take your time to learn these things. And once you nail these things, your timing will go by so fast, and just love the time that you're taking to do the craft. Every single part of it. Don't dread one thing. Something that I can admit is, if you're a nail tech, just don't forget that you do need breaks, because this is after me coming back from a break like of a week, and I felt so much more creative, and I felt like I was so much more happier to be at work. And so don't forget that, basically. Something that did help me with my application and to nails lasting very long is that you have to think of the acrylic as it's hugging onto the nails. So when you apply the bead, you have to like close around basically the nail. When I apply my bead, I make sure that it's laid very flat to the cuticle and that it's hugging over it, if I can explain it in any way. Basically, I really don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to try again. So you want to make sure that the product is hugging onto the nail, not just sitting on the nail. So you make sure that you lay the cuticles around or anything around the actual nail, that it's touching it and that it's like holding onto it. Or else, say if you don't lay it or press it down around the cuticle, it's going to be more straight up instead of hugging and tugging, if you get what I mean. And that's something that filing could help you with. But say if you did not hug the nail while doing the application, when you do file, the product will not be on the nail, so you'll have like more of a space around the cuticles instead. I hope you guys can understand that. Maybe make the mistake so you can learn from it and perfect it from there. This is like, I feel like one of the perfect examples that I was using in the last video. See how the acrylic is hugging onto it, if you now understand what I mean. So where near the cuticle area, you see where I laid down the acrylic, it's not tucked in the cuticle, like it's blending going upward into the cuticle. That's gonna prevent lifting from your nails. I'm gonna do the same thing with my next bead up the cuticle. I'm gonna make sure that I press it down and seal around the cuticle, preventing lifting, and just an acrylic gradually just sliding down once the nails are growing out. After the application, I did my filing off camera, and this is the results. For the design, she let me do what I would like, so I went in with some red, purple, pink, and some pink, and I did use some white for little details. I started off by just doing a simple light splatter on the pointer finger with those colors, adding like a marble defect in the back, and then I also went in with some hearts, and I don't know what you guys would call this, maybe 90s heart, and I just did a collection of those on the nails. Unfortunately, I didn't get the design on centered, but this is what it turned out like. I just kind of went with not swirl designs, I don't know what you'd call this, but I just kind of try to match it from one finger to another. At the end of it, I went in with some white to just add more detail to it, especially to the hearts. You want to add the white to make it seem like the theme that you are going for, and this is why I said it's 90s. I'm not sure though. confident with matte and glossy top coats. We just kind of switched it off from both hands. Some we did matte on the other hand, some we did shiny on the other hand, of course. If you do like this video, stay tuned for more. I guess make sure you like, subscribe, and like get into my Instagram so we can have conversations, and let me know what you guys would like to learn. If you guys have a set that you want me to try, I will do that. If you have any challenges or any fun requests, I would be down for it. I really like, my goal this year is to get into YouTubing because I actually do love teaching a lot, and I want to give out education because this is such a fun thing that I was blessed with, having like the ability to have it so easy with doing nails. And I wish this upon everybody that wants to do nails. If you want it that bad, please stay focused and just do it. It's going to be so worth it in years to come, and just enjoy it.